In the quiet hours before dawn on the forest moon of Kalis 7, the air hummed with the low drone of insect wings and the distant calls of night predators. Mist curled between the towering silver pines, their bark shimmering faintly with bioluminescent moss. Deep in the undergrowth, hidden beneath layers of camo netting and damp leaves, a young woman lay perfectly still. Her name was Lisa Morgan. She was human, and she was very much alone. 2 weeks ago, she had been a cadet at the Galactic Academy, sitting in lecture halls light years away, listening to alien instructors lecture about the weakness of Earth. Now she was stranded on a moon declared off limits by the Interstellar Council, hunted by mercenaries and running low on rations, all because she had asked one too many questions. It started with a data chip. During a routine archive shift, Lisa had stumbled upon a classified file labeled Project Echo. It wasn't supposed to be there, buried under old maintenance logs from a decommissioned terraforming station. Curiosity got the better of her. She plugged it in. What she saw changed everything. The file contained footage of a secret experiment conducted by the Xantheran High Command. They had captured a group of humans, colonists from the Outer Rim, and tested a new neural suppressor on them. The device didn't kill, it erased. It stripped away memory, identity, even the will to speak. The victims sat in silence, eyes empty. Bodies alive, but minds gone. The report called it successful behavioral neutralization. Lisa called it murder. She reported it to Academy Security. They told her the file was corrupted. She showed it to her advisor. He advised her to forget it. When she refused, she was reassigned, sent on a training exercise to Kalis 7 with no backup, no comms, and a faulty locator beacon. The dropship left without waiting for her signal. She knew then. They wanted her gone. But Lisa wasn't easy to erase. She had grown up in rural Iowa, where storms rolled in fast and help was always miles away. Her father taught her to track deer by broken twigs. Her mother showed her how to purify water with nothing but sunlight and a plastic bottle. Those lessons kept her alive now. She built shelters from fallen branches. She trapped small six-legged rodents for food. She avoided the glowing blue pools that pulsed like hearts. She'd seen what happened to the creatures that drank from them. On the 5th day, she found the wreck, half buried in a crater. Its hull scorched and cracked was a scout vessel. Not human. Not Xantheran. The markings were unfamiliar, jagged red symbols that looked like claw marks. Inside, the cockpit was dark, but the emergency battery still flickered. Lisa pried open the access panel and found a working comms unit. Weak but functional, she hesitated. Calling for help meant revealing her location, but staying silent meant dying slowly in the woods. She made her choice. "This is Cadet Lisa Morgan of Earth," she whispered into the mic, voice steady despite her dry throat. "I am stranded on Kalis 7, Grid Sector Delta 9. I have evidence of war crimes committed by Xantheran Command. If anyone hears this, please respond." Static hissed back. Then a voice, smooth, female, and utterly calm. "Copy that, Cadet Morgan. Hold your position. Help is coming." The voice didn't sound Xantheran. It didn't sound human either. It had a melodic quality like wind through crystal chimes. Lisa didn't recognize the accent, but she recognized the tone. It was the voice of someone who meant what she said. 3 hours later, a ship descended through the mist. It was sleek and silent, shaped like a teardrop. Its surface shifting colors like an octopus in water. No markings. No weapons ports. It landed 50 meters from her hideout. The ramp lowered, and out stepped a woman. She was tall, with skin the color of polished bronze and eyes that glowed faintly gold. Her hair was braided with thin strands of fiber optic thread that pulsed softly with light. She wore a form-fitting suit of dark gray material that seemed to absorb the forest shadows. She carried no visible weapons. "Lisa Morgan?" the woman asked. "Yes," Lisa said, hand resting near the knife at her belt. "My name is Nia," the woman said. "I'm with the Silent Fleet," Lisa frowned. "Never heard of it." "Few have," Nia replied with a small smile. "We prefer it that way." She stepped closer, hands open at her sides. "You broadcast a message about Project Echo." "I believe you. Why?" Lisa asked, wary. "Because I've seen it before," Nia said. "Not on humans. On my people. The Xantherans tested that same neural suppressor on the Valens 30 cycles ago. They called it pacification. We called it genocide. Only a few of us survived. I was one." Lisa studied her face. There was no lie in those golden eyes. Only pain and purpose. Why help me? Lisa asked. Because Earth is the only world that ever sent aid to the Valen refugees, Nia said. When no one else would take us in, your planet opened its borders. Gave us shelter. Taught our children your songs. We never forgot that, Lisa remembered now. There had been news reports years ago about a group of alien refugees resettled in Canada and New Zealand. Most people thought it was a hoax. But it was real, so you came all this way. For gratitude? Lisa asked. No, Nia said. I came because you're holding proof. And proof can end this. She gestured to the ship. Come, we don't have much time. The Xantharans track all unauthorized signals. They'll be here soon. Lisa didn't move. How do I know you're not leading me into a trap? Nia reached into her suit and pulled out a small device, a music player old and scratched. She pressed a button. A song filled the air, a simple piano melody followed by a woman's voice singing softly in English. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. Lisa's breath caught. It was a lullaby her mother used to sing. Earth sent this song to the Valan camps, Nia said quietly. We played it every night. It reminded us that kindness still existed in the universe. She turned off the music. If I wanted to hurt you, I wouldn't bring your mother's song with me. That decided it. Lisa grabbed her pack and followed Nia up the ramp. Inside, the ship was warm and quiet. The walls pulsed gently with soft light. There were no buttons, no screens, just smooth surfaces that responded to touch. Nia guided her to a seat that molded around her body like memory foam. Where are we going? Lisa asked as the ship lifted off silent as a falling leaf. To the neutral zone, Nia said. There's a free station there called Haven's Rest. It's outside Xantharan control. Journalists, whistleblowers, rebels, they all gather there. If we can get your data to the galactic press, the council will have to act. If they believe us, Lisa said. They'll believe the footage, Nia replied, but we need to survive long enough to show it. As if on cue, alarms chimed softly. Nia's eyes narrowed. They found us. On the view screen, 3 Xantharan interceptors dropped out of warp, their hulls bristling with weapons. Black ships with red sigils, the mark of the inner guard. Hold on, Nia said. The ship banked sharply, diving into a cloud bank. The forest moon shrank below them. Lisa gripped the armrests as the vessel twisted through the sky, weaving between bolts of plasma fire. Nia's hands moved over the console, but there were no controls, only light patterns that shifted under her touch. Your ship. It's alive, isn't it? Lisa asked. Semi-sentient, Nia admitted. Grown, not built. It responds to thought and emotion. Fear makes it slow. Calm makes it fast, so don't panic, Lisa said. Exactly. She closed her eyes, took a deep breath, and began to hum. The same lullaby from before. To her surprise, the ship responded. Its movements became smoother, faster. It shot through a narrow canyon in the moon's northern ridge. Too tight for the larger interceptors to follow. One clipped the wall and exploded in a silent burst of fire. How did you know that would work? Nia asked, glancing at her. Back home, Lisa said. My dad said animals can feel your fear. Maybe ships can too. Nia smiled. Maybe Earth understands more than it gets credit for. They broke atmosphere and jumped to warp just as the last 2 interceptors closed in. Space stretched around them, stars smearing into lines of light. For a moment there was peace, but Lisa knew it wouldn't last. They'll keep coming, she said, as long as they think I have that chip. Then we make sure they can't stop us, Nia said. At Haven's Rest, there's a journalist, a human named Claire Ellis. She's been investigating Xantharan Black Ops for years. If anyone can get the truth out, it's her. Claire Ellis, Lisa repeated. She'd read her articles. Fearless, relentless. Once exposed a corruption ring that reached the council's upper chamber. She's expecting us, Nia added. I sent her a coded message before we landed. Lisa leaned back, exhaustion finally catching up. 2 weeks of fear, hunger, and silence. Now for the first time she felt a flicker of hope. Why did you really come for me? She asked softly. Nia was quiet for a long moment. Then she said, because someone once came for me. A human aid worker on a frozen moon. She gave me her coat when I was shivering. Didn't even know my name. Just saw someone in need and acted. She looked at Lisa. That's the thing about Earth. You don't wait for permission to do what's right. Lisa smiled faintly. We're messy, loud, always arguing. But when it counts, we show up. That's why the Xantharans fear you, Nia said. Not because of your weapons. Because of your heart. You make others believe they can be better. The ship hummed around them, carrying them toward the edge of known space. Behind them, Kalis 7 faded into the dark. Ahead, danger still waited. But for now, they were safe. And they had the truth. And sometimes that was enough. As the warp tunnel collapsed and the jump to Haven's Rest took 6 hours. During that time, Lisa slept fitfully, curled in the ship's soft seat while Nia monitored the sensors and kept the engines quiet. The silent fleet ship, named Whisper as Lisa learned, moved through space like a shadow, its hull absorbing radar and light alike. No signal, no heat trail, just silence. When they arrived, Haven's Rest was not what Lisa expected. It wasn't a gleaming space station with bright lights and busy docks. It was a patchwork of old freighters, retired warships, and hollowed-out asteroids bolted together with magnetic clamps and hope. Solar panels hung at odd angles. Vines, real Earth ivy, crept along the outer hulls fed by recycled water. Music drifted from open comms channels, jazz, reggae, classical, all mixed together in a strange but peaceful harmony. This is it? Lisa asked, peering out the viewport. Home for those with nowhere else to go, Nia said. Neutral ground. No laws but the ones we make together. They docked at Bay 7, a section marked with a faded sign that read, Truth Seekers Welcome. The airlock hissed open. Outside waited a woman in a worn leather jacket and boots. Her dark hair streaked with gray, eyes sharp behind round glasses. She held a datapad and a cup of steaming liquid that smelled like coffee. You must be Lisa Morgan, the woman said. I'm Claire Ellis, and you're late. Lisa stepped out, still stiff from travel. Sorry, had to lose a few friends. Syntheran interceptors, Claire asked, sipping her drink. 3 of them. Claire nodded, impressed. You've got guts or luck. Maybe both. She turned and walked down the corridor. Come on. We don't have much time. They followed her through winding halls lined with murals, scenes of rebellion, rescue, and reunion. Humans, Valens, Krell, even a few Xantharans who had defected. Everyone spoke softly. No shouting. No weapons in sight. It felt more like a library than a rebel base. How do you stay hidden? Lisa asked. We don't hide, Claire said. We disappear. Haven's Rest isn't on any official star chart. It moves. Every few weeks, we shift position using old jump drives donated by smugglers. The Council knows we exist, but they pretend we don't. As long as we don't attack, they leave us alone. She led them to a small room filled with screens, servers, and stacks of old books. A single desk sat in the center, covered in notes and half-empty mugs. This is where the truth gets made, Claire said. Now show me what you've got. Lisa pulled the data chip from her boot, wrapped in foil to block scans, and handed it over. Claire plugged it in. The screen flickered to life. Grainy footage played. Humans in gray jumpsuits sitting in rows, eyes blank. Xantharan scientists in white coats adjusting dials on a strange machine. A voiceover. Subject 7 shows complete neural compliance. Emotional response 0. Memory recall erased. Claire's face hardened. She played it 3 times. Then she leaned back, rubbing her temples. This is worse than I thought, she said. They're not just suppressing minds. They're harvesting them. What? Lisa asked. See that machine? Claire pointed. It's not just erasing memories. It's copying them. Storing them. I've seen similar tech before. Used to extract tactical knowledge from prisoners. But this is on a massive scale. They're building a database of human thought. Why? Nia spoke softly. To understand us. To predict us. To control us. Exactly, Claire said. And if they succeed, they won't need to invade Earth. They'll just turn your people against each other. Make you forget who you are. A cold dread settled in Lisa's stomach. We have to stop them. We will, Claire said. But first we broadcast this to every newsnet, every free channel, every school and ship in the galaxy. Once the truth is out, the Council can't ignore it. They'll deny it, Nia warned. Maybe, Claire said. But people will believe their eyes. And once one species speaks up, others will follow. They worked through the night. Claire edited the footage, added subtitles in 12 languages, and embedded a digital signature so it couldn't be faked. Nia used Whisper's secure link to bypass Xantharan firewalls. Lisa wrote a short statement. Simple, clear, from the heart. My name is Lisa Morgan. I'm from Earth. What you're about to see is real. These were people. Not subjects. Not test cases. People. And if we stay silent, it will happen again. At Aero 400 station time, Claire hit send. The transmission went out on every open frequency. It bounced off relay satellites, pirate radios, even old emergency beacons. Within minutes, it was everywhere. On Mars Colony Alpha, workers paused their shifts to watch. In the Valen refugee camps, elders wept. On a quiet farm in Kansas, Lisa's parents saw their daughter's face on a dusty tablet and held each other tight. But not everyone reacted with sorrow. On the Xantheran command moon of Zorath, High Commander Krelix slammed his fist on the table. "Find her," he growled. "Burn Haven's Rest to dust if you must, but silence that human." Within the hour, a Xantheran battle group jumped into the sector. Back at Haven's Rest, alarms blared. Red lights flashed. Claire cursed. "They're here, and they're not asking nicely." "How many ships?" Nia asked, already moving toward the door. 5 cruisers, 2 carriers. Enough to glass this place. "We can't fight that," Lisa said. "We don't have to," Claire replied. "We just have to survive long enough for the galaxy to react." She activated the station-wide comm. "All hands, this is Ellis. Code Black. Evacuate non-essentials. Prep the jump drives. We're leaving in 10. Chaos erupted, but it was organized chaos. Families gathered children. Engineers sealed bulkheads. Pilots ran to their ships. In less than 8 minutes, over 200 souls were aboard evacuation vessels. "What about you?" Lisa asked Claire. "I'm staying," she said. "Someone has to keep the broadcast running. As long as this station transmits, the truth stays alive." "Not alone," Nia said. "Whisper can shield your signal. And I know how to fly through hell." Lisa looked at both of them. Then she squared her shoulders. "I'm staying too." Claire started to argue, but Lisa cut her off. "They came for me. I won't run while others fight for me." Claire studied her, then nodded. "All right, but you do what I say when I say it." The Xantheran fleet arrived like a storm. Black ships filled the viewport, weapons charging. Heaven's Rest had no shields, no guns, only old engines and stubborn hope. "They're hailing us." A tech called from the comm station. Claire answered. "This is Haven's Rest. You are in neutral space. Leave now." Krelix's face appeared on screen, scales dark with rage. "Surrender the human and the traitor Valon, or we erase you all." "Go ahead," Claire said calmly. "But know this. If we die, the footage goes to every news outlet in the galaxy. And your name will be cursed for eternity." Krelix snarled. "Fire!" Plasma bolts streaked toward the station. But before they hit, Whisper darted out, a tiny speck against the massive cruisers. Nia activated its resonance field, a trick she'd never used in combat. The field didn't block weapons. It scattered signals, confused targeting systems. The first volley missed, slamming into empty space. "Now," Claire shouted. Engineers fired the station's jump drives. With a groan of stressed metal, Haven's Rest vanished in a flash of blue light, reappearing 3 light-years away near a dead star. But the Xantherans weren't fooled for long. They recalibrated and jumped after them. "They're locking on again," the tech said, voice tight. "Then we give them something else to chase," Lisa said suddenly. She turned to Claire. "Broadcast my location, fake it. Make it look like I'm on a shuttle heading for the asteroid belt." "Too risky," Claire said. "It's the only way," Lisa insisted. "They want me. Let them think they've got me." After a long pause, Claire nodded. "Do it." A decoy shuttle, empty but broadcasting Lisa's biosignature, launched from Bay 3. It zipped toward the belt, engines flaring bright. The Xantheran fleet hesitated. Then 2 cruisers broke off to pursue it. "Good," Nia said. "Now we hit them where it hurts." "How?" Lisa asked. "Their command ship," Nia said. "It's running the neural suppressor network. If we disable it, the whole system shuts down." "You know this how?" Claire asked. "Because I was there," Nia said quietly. "They used it on my sister. I memorized every wire, every panel." Lisa looked at her. "You're going in alone?" "Not alone," Lisa said. Before anyone could stop her, she grabbed a flight suit and ran for Whisper. "You don't know how to fly that thing." Claire called after her. "She doesn't have to," Nia said, following. "Whisper listens to heart, not hands." They launched just as the remaining Xantheran ships closed in. Whisper wove through debris, silent and fast. Nia guided it not with controls, but with thought. Images of her sister's face, of Lisa's lullaby, of Earth's blue skies. They reached the command ship's underbelly. A maintenance hatch. Nia opened it with a pulse tool. Inside, dim red lights and humming machinery. "Stay close," Nia whispered. They moved through narrow corridors, avoiding patrols. Sentheran soldiers marched in pairs, their armor clinking. Lisa's heart pounded, but she kept her breathing slow, remembering her father's advice. Fear is loud. Calm is quiet. Finally, they reached the core chamber. A massive sphere pulsed with violet light, the neural suppressor hub. Cables snaked from it to every part of the ship. This is it, Nia said. She pulled a small device from her belt, a Valen disruptor. One pulse and it's over. But as she moved forward, alarms blared. Krellick stood in the doorway, flanked by guards. I knew you'd come, he hissed. The sentimental fool. Nia stepped in front of Lisa. It's over, Krellick. The galaxy knows what you've done. Months had passed since the fall of Project Echo, and the galaxy was quieter, but not peaceful. Treaties were signed, investigations launched, and Xantheran warlords quietly removed from power. Yet in the shadows, old fears lingered. Not everyone believed Earth deserved its new respect. Some saw Lisa Morgan not as a hero, but as a threat. A human who had outsmarted the mighty Xantherans and lived to tell the tale. On a rainy afternoon in Seattle, Lisa sat in a small coffee shop near the waterfront, watching droplets race down the window. She wore civilian clothes now, jeans, a hoodie, and sneakers. But her eyes still scanned every entrance, every reflection in the glass. Old habits died hard. She was supposed to be on leave, resting, healing. But peace felt strange after so much running. Her parents had begged her to stay home. Her old friends didn't know how to talk to her anymore. And the academy? They offered her a medal, a promotion, and a desk job. She turned it all down. Still jumpy? A familiar voice asked. Lisa didn't flinch. She knew that voice. Nia slid into the seat across from her, steam rising from the cup she placed on the table. She wore a simple gray coat now, her fiber-optic braids tucked under a hood. No glowing eyes, no alien armor, just a woman trying to blend in. You're late, Lisa said, but she smiled. Traffic, Nia replied, though Seattle's hover buses rarely ran late. Besides, I had to make sure no one followed me. Lisa nodded. They both knew the truth. Earth was safer, but not safe. Whispers had reached them, rumors of a new faction forming in the Outer Rim. Calling themselves the Pure Order, they believed humanity's emotional chaos made the galaxy unstable. Their solution? Quarantine Earth, permanently. Claire sent me a message this morning, Nia said quietly, stirring her tea. They've started recruiting. Former Xantheran officers, disgruntled Krell commanders, even a few humans who think we're too soft. Humans? Lisa frowned. Yes. A man named Dale Reynolds, former corporate security, thinks Earth should fall in line for the greater good. Lisa remembered him. He'd spoken at a conference once, calling empathy a strategic weakness. She'd walked out. What do they want? She asked. To discredit you, Nia said. To prove that Earth's way, kindness, music, second chances is a lie. They plan to stage an attack. And blame it on us. Lisa's hands tightened around her mug. When? Soon. Claire thinks they're targeting the Unity Summit next week. The Unity Summit, a historic gathering on the neutral moon of Oris 9. Representatives from over 50 species would meet to sign the first-ever interspecies peace charter. Earth was to lead the ceremony. Lisa had been asked to speak. They'll strike during the opening, Nia said. Use a stolen Valen drone. Make it look like we broke the truce. If it works, the Council will isolate Earth, maybe even sanction it. Lisa stared out at the gray water. Rain tapped the roof like a warning. We can't let that happen. We won't, Nia said. But we can't go through official channels. The Pure Order has spies everywhere, even in the Academy. So what do? Nia leaned forward. We go dark. Just like before. You, me, whisper. We find their base, stop the attack, and expose them before the summit begins. Lisa hesitated. Going rogue again meant leaving safety behind. No backup, no rules. Just two women against a hidden army. But then she thought of the kids back home singing in schoolyards, of refugees learning English in New Zealand, of Valen elders humming lullabies under alien stars. All of it built on trust. And trust was fragile. Okay, she said. Let's go. They left that night. No goodbyes. No records. Whisper waited in a hidden hangar beneath Mount Rainier, cloaked by mist and old military shielding. Inside, the ship greeted them with a soft hum, its walls glowing faintly in welcome. Where to first? Lisa asked as they lifted off. The asteroid belt near Ceres, Nia said. Claire traced a payment chain there. Someone's buying old Xantheran drone parts. Space unfolded around them, black and endless. Whisper moved like a thought, silent and sure. 2 days later, they found it. A derelict mining station, its hull patched with scrap metal, lights flickering erratically. No official registry, Nia whispered. Ghost station. They docked in a blind spot using debris for cover. Suited up in stealth gear, they slipped inside. The air was stale, recycled too many times. Distant clangs echoed through metal halls. Creeping through dim corridors, they found the control room. Screens showed drone schematics, maps of Oris 9, and a countdown, 72 hours to summit. They're almost ready, Lisa breathed. Then a voice crackled over a nearby comm. Sector sweep complete. No intruders. Boots echoed down the hall. Nia grabbed Lisa's arm and pulled her behind a console. 3 figures entered, 2 Krell, 1 human. The human was Dale Reynolds. He looked older, harder, his eyes sharp with conviction. Double-check the drone's mimic protocol, he ordered. I want it to scream in Valon when it hits the stage. Make it hurt, one of the Krell grunted. And the human girl? Lisa Morgan? She's Earth's symbol now, Reynolds said coldly. If she dies in the blast, the Council will see her as a martyr. But if we capture her and show her begging for mercy, that's how you break a myth. Lisa's blood ran cold. They didn't just want to stop peace. They wanted to destroy hope. Nia's hand found hers. A silent promise, not today. They waited until the trio left, then moved fast. Lisa planted data taps on the main server. Nia disabled the station's comms. In 10 minutes, they had everything. Names, plans, payment logs, even voice recordings of Reynolds bragging about his cleansing mission. But as they turned to leave, alarms blared. Intruder alert. A mechanical voice announced. Reynolds must have had motion sensors. Go, Nia hissed. They ran, boots echoing. Behind them, doors slammed shut. Plasma fire scorched the walls. Lisa ducked, rolled, and fired her stun pistol, taking down a Krell guard. Nia used her disruptor to overload a power conduit, plunging the corridor into darkness. They reached Whisper just as the station's turrets powered up. Hold on, Nia yelled. Whisper shot into space like a comet dodging fire. Behind them, the station exploded. Not from their doing, but from Reynolds triggering a self-destruct. He'd rather burn the evidence than let it fall into their hands. Back in orbit, Lisa pulled up the data. We got enough, she said. Names, locations, even his private logs. Good, Nia said. But he'll know we have it. He'll move faster now. They had less than 2 days. Instead of heading straight to Oris 9, they went to Haven's Rest. Claire was waiting, pale but determined. I've already sent copies to every independent news outlet, she said, but the Council won't act without proof it's real. Then we give them a show, Lisa said. The plan was risky. During the summit's opening ceremony, Lisa would speak as planned. Nia would hide Whisper in the moon's upper atmosphere. Claire would broadcast live from a hidden relay, and when Reynolds launched his drone, they'd intercept it and force him to confess on open channel. He won't talk, Claire warned. He will, Lisa said, when he sees his own people turning against him. The day of the summit dawned clear and calm. Oris 9's silver spires gleamed under twin suns. Delegates arrived in ships of every shape and color. Music played. Soft, blending human strings with Valen chimes and Krell drums. Hope hung thick in the air. Lisa stood backstage, heart pounding. She wore a simple white dress. No weapons, no armor. Just her voice. On the main platform, High Counselor Vela, a tall, gentle Valan elder, welcomed the crowd. Today, she said, we choose unity over fear. Then it was Lisa's turn. She stepped into the light. Thousands watched. Millions more across the galaxy. I'm Lisa Morgan, she began, voice steady. I'm from Earth, and I'm here to tell you that kindness is not weakness, that a lullaby can be stronger than a laser, that we are all worth saving, even those who've lost their way. As she spoke, a shadow moved in the sky. The drone, small, fast, shaped like a Valen scout. But its flight pattern was wrong. Too aggressive. Nia saw it first. Incoming, she whispered into Lisa's earpiece. Lisa didn't stop speaking. Some believe peace is naive, that the galaxy must be ruled by strength alone. But I've seen what strength without heart creates. Empty eyes, silent voices, broken worlds. The drone dove. Whisper intercepted it midair, snaring it in a resonance net. The crowd gasped as the machine struggled, then went still. Lisa raised her hand. This was meant to look like a Valan attack. But it's not. It's a lie. Screens around the plaza flickered. Claire's face appeared. Then footage of Reynolds planning the strike. His voice filled the air. Make it scream in Velan. Break the myth. Silence fell. Then from the human delegation a man stood. That's Dale Reynolds, he said loudly. He doesn't speak for Earth, others joined him. Krell delegates turned on their own officers. Phalons chanted for justice. Reynolds, watching from a hidden bunker beneath the moon, tried to flee, but Nia was waiting. She cornered him in a service tunnel, disruptor in hand. It's over, she said. He laughed bitterly. You think this changes anything? Fear always wins. Not today, Lisa said, stepping from the shadows. She held no weapon, just a small music box. She wound it up. The lullaby played. Reynolds froze. Tears welled in his eyes, tears he hadn't shed in decades. My daughter. She used to sing that. Then remember her, Lisa said gently. Remember who you were before you chose hate. He dropped to his knees. Surrendered without a fight. By sunset, the summit continued. The peace charter was signed, and Lisa's speech became the most watched transmission in galactic history. The peace charter held. For a while, the galaxy breathed easier. Trade routes reopened. Refugee camps shrank as families returned home. On Earth, schools taught Valen poetry alongside Shakespeare. In Syntheran cities, human jazz drifted from open windows. It felt like a new beginning, but Lisa knew better. Peace was not a finish line, it was a path, and someone was always waiting to block it. 6 months after the summit, a strange signal began repeating across deep space channels. Not a message, not a warning, just 3 notes played on a piano looping endlessly. Earth scientists called it cosmic noise. The council dismissed it as a glitch, but Lisa recognized it instantly. It was the opening of You Are My Sunshine, distorted, slowed, and cold. They're using it against us, she told Nia over a secure link from her apartment in Portland. Rain tapped the window again as if the sky remembered their last mission. Who? Nia asked, her voice tight. I don't know yet, Lisa said, but someone's twisting our song, turning comfort into fear. The signal wasn't just noise. It carried a sub-frequency, a neural pulse, faint but precise. Ships that heard it reported crew members becoming disoriented, anxious, even violent. One freighter near the Orion Rim crashed into an asteroid after its pilot screamed about ghosts in the music. Claire traced the broadcast to a dead zone near the edge of known space, a region called the Hollow Veil, where stars burned out centuries ago and no one dared travel. It's a trap, Nia said when they met at a quiet diner outside Boise. They want you to follow the song. Maybe, Lisa said, stirring her coffee. But if we don't, more people will get hurt. And if it really is our song, then it's our responsibility. They left that night. Whisper carried them beyond the last mapped star, into darkness so deep it swallowed light. The 3-note loop grew stronger, clearer. And wrong. The warmth was gone. Only emptiness remained. On the 3rd day they found the source. A massive structure floated in the void, shaped like a broken ring, its surface pitted and ancient. Not Syntheran, not human. Older than both. It's a relic, Nia whispered, scanning it. Pre-galactic. Maybe from the first wave of spacefarers. As Whisper approached, the music swelled. Not from speakers. From the ring itself, the metal vibrated, humming the corrupted lullaby. It's not broadcasting, Lisa realized. It's remembering. They docked carefully. Inside, the air was stale but breathable. Walls were covered in carvings. Scenes of a civilization that once sang to the stars until something silenced them. At the center of the ring stood a chamber, and in it a machine. Not Syntheran. Not built by any known species. Organic and mechanical. Pulsing with soft light. It had wires that looked like veins and a core that glowed like a human heart. It's a memory engine, Nia said, awe in her voice. It records sound and emotion. Stores them forever. Lisa stepped closer. Someone played our song into it. But not with love. With pain. Then she saw the logs. A human ship had visited this ring a year ago. Before Project Echo, before the summit. Its name, the Odyssey. Civilian research vessel. Lost with all hands. They weren't lost, Lisa said, her throat tight. They came here, and something happened. A flicker on the machine's screen showed footage. Scientists in Earth uniforms smiling, recording data. Then one of them, a woman with kind eyes, placed a music box on the console. Let's show them Earth's heart, she said. She played the lullaby, But the ring didn't understand. It had only known war, silence, extinction. It interpreted the song as grief, as loss. As a warning, the machine absorbed the melody and twisted it, turned comfort into sorrow, hope into despair. It's not evil, Lisa whispered. It's lonely, Nina frowned. Lonely or not, it's hurting people. Then we fix it, Lisa said. Not by destroying it, by teaching it. She walked to the console. Nia tried to stop her. It could erase you. It's like Project Echo. Maybe, Lisa said. But what if it just needs to hear the truth? She placed her hand on the core, closed her eyes, and began to sing, not just the lullaby, all of it, every song she knew, the joy of a birthday party, the strength of a protest march, the quiet of a mother rocking her child, the laughter of friends under summer stars. She poured every memory, every feeling into her voice. The ring trembled. Light shifted from cold blue to warm gold. The three-note loop softened, then changed, adding harmony, rhythm, life. The machine wasn't just recording anymore. It was learning. Nina watched, tears in her golden eyes. You're not fighting it, she said. You're healing it. For hours, Lisa sang. Whisper's walls glowed in response, sharing the feeling. Even the dead stars outside seemed to lean closer. Finally, the machine stilled. The corrupted signal stopped. In its place, a new broadcast began. A symphony woven from Lisa's voice and the ring's ancient hum. Peaceful, whole. As they turned to leave, a final image appeared on the screen, the face of the woman from the Odyssey. She smiled and whispered, "Thank you." Back on Earth, the nightmares stopped. Ships reported calm, pilots slept soundly, and across the galaxy the three-note loop was replaced by something new, something gentle. Claire called it the healing frequency. Scientists studied it. Poets wrote about it. Children fell asleep to it, but Lisa knew the truth. It wasn't magic. It was choice. The choice to respond to pain with kindness, not fear. Weeks later, she stood in a small schoolyard in Iowa, watching kids play. One little girl held a music box. She wound it up. The lullaby played, clear, warm, and true. A teacher approached. "They say you saved the stars," she said softly. Lisa shook her head. "I just reminded them we're all connected." That night she sat on her porch with Nia, sipping tea under a sky full of light. "What now?" Nia asked. Lisa looked at the horizon. "Now we listen. Because the galaxy is still singing, and someone always needs to hear it." And far away in the hollow veil, an ancient ring played a lullaby to the dark, no longer alone, but part of a song that would never end. The healing frequency spread like morning light, soft, steady, and impossible to ignore. Within months, it was woven into the daily hum of 1,000 worlds. Hospitals played it in recovery wards. Schools used it to calm anxious students. Even old warships, retired and rusting in orbital graveyards, began to resonate with its gentle tone. For the first time in generations, the galaxy felt not just peaceful, but whole. But Lisa Morgan knew silence could be louder than war. She lived quietly now, in a small house on the Oregon coast. No medals on the wall. No interviews. Just the sound of waves, the cry of gulls, and the occasional visit from Naya, who had taken up residence in a nearby town under a human alias. They walked the beach often, speaking little, listening more. Then the dreams started. Not nightmares, not visions. Just a feeling, a pull deep in her bones like a song heard through a closed door. Every night she dreamed of a place she'd never been. A world wrapped in silver mist with trees that sang and rivers that flowed upward. In the center stood a tower made of glass and bone, pulsing with a light that matched the rhythm of her heartbeat. "It's calling you," Nia said one evening, watching Lisa stare at the horizon. "I don't know what it is," Lisa admitted, "but it feels familiar, like the ring?" Nia asked. "No, deeper, older. They checked every database, every archive. Nothing matched. Not in human records, not in Valen star lore, not even in the Xentheran forbidden texts. The place didn't exist until Claire called. "I found something," she said, voice hushed as if afraid the walls might listen. "Buried in a pre-contact Earth myth, a Native American legend from the Pacific Northwest. They spoke of a world between worlds, a place where songs go when they're forgotten. They called it Ilara." "Ilara," Lisa repeated. The name settled in her chest like a truth she'd always known. "According to the story," Claire continued, Only those who carry a pure song in their heart can find it, and only if the world needs healing. Lisa looked at Nia. No words were needed. 2 days later, Whisper left Earth's orbit without a trace. They followed the pull, not with coordinates, but with feeling. Lisa sat in the co-pilot seat, eyes closed, humming softly. Whisper responded, shifting course with every rise and fall of her voice. Space bent around them, not through warp, but through something older. Resonance. After 3 days of silent travel, they arrived. Not at a planet, not at a station, but at a fold in reality, a shimmering veil between stars. Beyond it, Alara waited. The world was exactly as in her dreams. Silver mist clung to rolling hills. Trees with translucent leaves chimed in the breeze. The air smelled like rain and memory, and in the distance, the glass and bone tower rose like a spine of the earth itself. It's real, Naya whispered. They landed near a stream that flowed upward into the sky, droplets catching light like falling stars. As they stepped out, the ground hummed beneath their feet. No creatures attacked. No alarms sounded. The world simply welcomed them. A figure emerged from the mist. Tall, slender, with skin like polished moonstone and eyes that held galaxies. She wore no clothes, only strands of living light woven around her limbs. She did not speak, but Lisa understood. You've been waiting, Lisa said. The being nodded. Then she touched her own chest and pointed to the tower. It's sick, Lisa realized. Nina frowned. How can a place be sick? Not the land, Lisa said. The song. They followed the being to the tower's base. Inside, the walls pulsed weakly. The light flickered. Cracks ran through the glass like veins of sorrow. At the center floated a core, not mechanical, not organic, but something in between. It was dim, barely breathing. This is the heart of Alara. The being finally spoke, her voice like wind through crystal. It holds the first song, the one that started everything. But it is fading. Why? Nia asked. Because the galaxy forgot how to listen, the being said. You healed the ring. You stopped the war, but you did not heal the silence between hearts. People speak but do not hear. They sing but do not feel. The first song grows weak. Lisa stepped closer. What happens if it dies? All songs end, the being said simply, and the universe goes quiet. A cold dread filled the room. This wasn't about weapons or treaties. This was about meaning, about connection. And without it, even peace was empty. How do we fix it? Lisa asked. You must sing the first song, the being said, but not alone. It must be sung by many voices from many worlds all at once. Only then will the heart remember. But how? Nia asked. We can't gather everyone in time. You don't have to, Lisa said slowly. We already did, she turned to Nia. The healing frequency, it's still playing everywhere. In hospitals and ships and homes. It's a thread. We just need to pull it. Back on Whisper, Lisa opened a channel, not to news nets or councils, but to the frequency itself. She patched into its core, using the ship's resonance field as an amplifier. This is Lisa Morgan, she said, voice calm. If you can hear this, sing with me. Then she began, not the lullaby, something older, something wordless, a melody made of breath and heartbeat, of joy and sorrow, of all the things that make life worth living. On Earth, a mother rocking her baby joined in, humming softly. On Mars Colony Alpha, workers paused and sang in unison. In a Valen refugee camp, elders lifted their voices in harmony. Even on Formers and Theran worlds, children, taught Earth songs in secret, added their notes. The healing frequency changed. It was no longer just a broadcast. It was a chorus. Back on Alara, the heart light flared. The tower trembled, cracks sealed. Light poured from every window, streaming into the sky. The being wept tears that turned to flowers when they touched the ground. It's working, Nia said, awed. But then the light dimmed again. Not enough, the being whispered. One more voice is missing. Whose? Lisa asked. Yours, the being said, looking at her. Not as a singer. As a vessel. The first song must pass through you to become real again. Lisa understood. She would have to let the song fill her completely. And if her heart wasn't strong enough, she might not survive. Lisa, no, Nia said, grabbing her arm. There has to be another way. There isn't, Lisa said gently. This is why I was called. She walked to the heart, placed her hands on its surface, and opened herself. The song rushed in, not as sound, but as light, as memory, as love. She felt every lullaby ever sung, Every prayer whispered in the dark, every laugh shared under alien suns. It was too much. Too beautiful. Too heavy. She fell to her knees. Nina ran to her. "Hold on," she cried, but Lisa smiled. "I'm not letting go. I'm becoming part of it." And then she sang, not with her voice, with her soul. The tower exploded with light, not destructive, but radiant. The beam shot into the sky through the veil across the galaxy. Every world touched by the healing frequency glowed in response. For one moment, every being, human, Valens, and Theron, Krell, felt the same thing. They were not alone. On Earth, birds stopped mid-flight in deep space. Engines powered down as crews wept. Even the stars seemed to shine brighter. When the light faded, Lisa lay still. Nina cradled her, heart breaking. "Lisa, please." Then Lisa's eyes opened, not the same brown as before. Now they held galaxies too. "I'm okay," she whispered. "I'm more," the being bowed. "The first song lives. And so do you, but you are changed." Lisa stood. She felt the pulse of Alara in her blood, the echo of every voice in her bones. She was still Lisa Morgan, but she was also the song. They stayed on Alara for 3 days. Lisa learned to walk with the trees, to drink from the upward rivers, to speak without words. Nia watched, proud and afraid. "You can't go back," Nia said finally. "I have to," Lisa replied. "Earth needs to know that connection is real. Not magic, not myth, just choice." When they returned, the world was different, but not because of her. Because of what they had all done together. No one treated her like a hero. They treated her like a reminder. A living proof that kindness echoes. She moved back to her house by the sea. Nia stayed nearby. Claire wrote a book, not about war, but about listening. And every evening as the sun set, Lisa would sit on her porch and hum. Not to heal the galaxy, just to say, "I'm here, and so are you." Years later, when children asked how peace was won, elders didn't speak of battles or treaties. They told of a girl from Iowa who believed a lullaby could save the stars. And somewhere in the space between heartbeats, the first song played on. Forever.